I'm Jennifer Rothschild. Welcome to this month's womensministry.net video devotional. I'm really glad you've joined me, and you've joined me again in my office. Now, I'm going to take you back to a conversation I had in my office with a dear friend, author, speaker, Alicia Britt Sholey. And the reason I had a conversation with her is because she is such a gift in mentoring. And I know you and I all want to invest in other women and multiply life. So I want you to join me for my conversation with Alicia, because she's going to tell us about 3 mentoring mistakes that we can avoid. Hi, Alicia. I'm so glad we get to do this again. The first time we talked, it was about mentoring, and you gave us such encouragement. So today, because you've had so much experience with mentoring, some of the things you may have learned that help you be so good at mentoring may have come from the classroom of mistakes. Or maybe not. Maybe you've just observed mistakes. And I think that would be a real help to me and to the women watching. If you could share with us, what are some of the most common mistakes we make with all our good intentions in mentoring?
Sure. I think one of the greatest mistakes people make when they begin mentoring relationships is substituting cloning for Christ-likeness.
Substituting cloning for Christ-likeness. And give me some, what does that mean?
Sure. The focus of mentoring is to help people become more like Jesus, not more like us.
Yeah.
So, I'll share an example with a dear young woman who I was in a mentoring relationship with for 6 years. Jennifer, we're as different can be.
You and I, or you and she?
Oh, my friend and I.
Okay, because you and I are too.
Just in our taste of tea.
Yes, that's true. That's true.
So, my friend, just even physically, I mean, I'm tall, she's short, she's athletic. I broke my finger, playing basketball. She likes playing Monopoly. I apologize whenever people land on my house. So we're just as different can be.
Right.
But my focus in mentoring wasn't to help her prefer classical music over country western, or prefer, the opera over the football game. Mm-hmm. My focus in mentoring was to help her become like Jesus. Mm. So one of the greatest mistakes people can make is substituting cloning for Christ-likeness.
That's good, because sometimes even the way we do our Christianity, we assume is the only way. A quiet time must be done between 7:15 and 7:29 a.m.,
right.
or it doesn't count, it's not as spiritual. That would be cloning.
Yes.
And that's very different than drawing a woman and equipping her to be wanting to have that quiet time with Jesus whenever it is her life and body says she can do it.
Exactly.
Okay, so first one is cloning versus Christ-likeness.
That's right.
All right, what's another mistake we make?
Substituting forms for substance.
Forms for substance. Okay,
Yes.
What does that look like?
Yes. That means that what makes mentoring powerful is that purposeful proximity that we mentioned last time. That relationship that's focused Godward. That's the substance. The present of presence focused upon the person of Jesus Christ. What makes mentoring powerful is not the form. Which is why I think we get discouraged a lot, because we found a great book, or we found a great study, or we found a great curriculum, or we found a great something or another, and we keep staring at it, hoping it gives birth to multiplied life. But form isn't the source of substance. Form is the servant of substance.
Okay, let's say that one more time for those of us who slow process.
Okay. Form is not the source of substance. Form is the servant of substance.
Exceptional.
And so without substance, no matter how fabulous our form is, it's going to dry up pretty quickly.
Yeah. Gosh, and I know women, we make these mistakes because we have such good intentions.
Sure.
And sometimes we just don't realize, and I think that's one of them that we do, because we get discouraged because we think, well, this 12-week curriculum worked for so-and-so.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Form over substance. I love that. Okay,
That's
great.
right.
Thank you for that warning. What's another caution? What's another mistake?
Substituting Superman for Clark Kent.
I love it. How many Clark Kents do we have watching this video?
Right.
A lot more than we have Supermans, right? All right, what does that mean?
Okay, this comes with a story.
Okay.
I began mentoring 27 years ago, and one of the very first mentoring groups that I led, there was a beautiful young woman named Betsy in it, and she was very, very quiet, and just watched, observed. We had a wonderful time together, but wasn't quite sure what was going on behind her eyes. And I remember at the end of our time together, I always had this special space where we would give each other a small gift that was reflective of something beautiful we had seen in each other, some God's fingerprints in each other. Anyway, she gave me the Superman Clark Kent Award. And I listened. I was waiting,
Yeah, what is that?
And she said, well, the first year you mentored me, you were Superwoman. Alicia with answers, Alicia without pain, Alicia without needs. And she said, I don't know what ever happened to you over the summer, but when you came back this year when you were mentoring me, you were Clark Kent. Alicia with weakness, Alicia with needs, Alicia asking for prayer. And then she said something that for me was formative as a mentor. She said, I just need you to know, I learned a whole lot more from Clark Kent than I ever did from Superman.
Wow. Thank you for Betsy's words.
Yes.
Thank you for you sharing those words with us. That ministers to me because there's a whole lot of Clark Kents watching this, and we don't need to be Superman.
No.
Thank you, Alicia.
Thank you.
I know you enjoyed that conversation as much as I did, and I'll tell you the real reason I enjoyed it so much, not only for her wisdom, but I feel so validated that it's okay to be Clark Kent. And so if you feel like a Clark Kent rather than a Superman, I hope you realize that God uses Clark Kents. He uses Clark Kents even more than he uses Superman. So allow him to be strong in your weakness. Now, if you're watching this with some girlfriends, why don't you talk about those mistakes that Alicia discussed, but then also perhaps some mistakes that you have learned about that you may have made on your own, and then challenge each other to enter into a very authentic mentoring relationship with another woman. So glad you joined me this month. Come back to womensministry.net because the community is always better when you show up.